Another type of epidermal tissue we are supposed to study, component of epidermal cell, is stomatal complex, of which we have normally in epidermis we have some holes or we have some pores which are helpful in the aerial parts. In epidermis we have numerous pores in the aerial parts of the epidermis and which are helpful in the gaseous exchange of the plant, in gaseous exchange, gaseous. Okay. So there are there are n number of numerous pores present found in the epidermis of the aerial parts of the plant. Epidermis of all the aerial plants, there are numerous pores which are helpful in the major function of that pores or holes is gases exchange, and these are maximum helpful in the exchange of gases, and these structures which are helpful in the gases exchange in the aerial parts of the plant body are also called as stomata, or in singular we also call it as stoma. Okay. Now we talk about the structure of what is stomata, what is stoma, what is the structure of stoma. Okay. Now we will talk about structure of stomata. We will talk about structure of stomata. Okay. Now structure of stomata, just look at this diagram. According to this diagram, this total diagram comes under a complex called as stomatal complex. Altogether we have stomatal pore, we have guard cells, we have subsidiary cells. A combination of guard cells, subsidiary cells and stomatal pore keep together will make it a stomatal complex. So what is stomata actually? See, a small pore which is present, which is surrounded by two kidney shaped structures. These are called as guard cells, and these guard cells are again surrounded by substitution cells or additional cells which surrounds the guard cells. These are called as subsidiary cells. So a stomatal complex. Now this is the pore which is present, stomatal pore, or normally we call it as stomata or stoma. The actual opening and closing of the stoma or gases exchange is occurring because of this area. So a stomata or stomatal complex or stoma is nothing but a combination of a stomatal pore surrounded by guard cells and surrounded by its subsidiary cells. So a stomatal complex can be called as a combination of guard cells plus subsidiary cells plus a stomatal pore is equal to stomatal complex. Okay. Now structure wise we are telling, then when we are talking about structure wise, the guard cell, the thickness of the cell wall is normally unequal. When we see the thickness of the cell wall, thickness of the wall of the guard cell, it is more thicker towards the pore and it is more thin towards away from the pore or towards the periphery of the pore. So when this type of arrangement is there, the thickness of the wall is more towards the pore and less towards the periphery of the guard cells or towards the corners of the guard cells. What is the use of like this arrangement is, it will help in the turgid state. The guard cells are in turgid state, the guard cells are opening, and in flaccid stage the guard cells will close. So this will lead to the opening and closing of the stomata. So opening, gas intake and closing, gas intake and outtake of the gases exchange occurs because of this thickness of the cell wall. Now the empty space just below the stomata you will be seeing here, that is called as substomatal chamber is there. We need not study about substomatal chamber at the intermediate level or MSET level. So we just study about what is stomatal complex, that is guard cell plus subsidiary cell plus stomatal pore is called as stomatal complex. The cell wall of the guard cell is thicker towards the pore and thinner towards the corner, which will help in the opening and the closing of the stomatal pore at the turgid and the flaccid stage. Now when we come to the shape of the guard cells, in dicots the structure of guard cell is either it is bean shape, kidney shape or elliptical. In monocots it is dumbbell shape. we said that in dicots we will see normally bean shaped, kidney shaped or elliptical type of shaped God cells. So in what are the examples? For example, in dicots, in pteridophytes, in gymnosperms, we will see this bean shaped type of arrangement of God cells. We said in monocots that there is a dumbbell shaped of arrangement of God cells, that like dumbbells, it will be in the form of dumbbells. Okay, but in case of some monocot families like Liliaceae and Dioscoriaceae, you will see the presence of bean shaped God cells. But normally when we talk about monocots and the arrangement of structure of stomata, we say that in monocots the structure of stomata is dumbbell shaped, but in some families of monocots you will see the arrangement of bean shaped type of stomata present in the structure. In rare cases of monocot families, Liliaceae and Dioscoriaceae. So you will get a question like, in Liliaceae the shape of God cell. So normally Liliaceae belongs to monocots. Many of us will write it as dumbbell shape, but actually it is not dumbbell shape, it is bean shape. Okay, now as we were telling, in monocots you have dumbbell shaped type of God cells are present. In all the grass families, members belonging to grass families, the arrangement of God cell is dumbbell shaped. So likewise in the families like Juncaceae, Cyperaceae, Marantaceae and Xyridaceae, you will see the arrangement of God cells in the dumbbell shape. In all the above types, we will see the pores and the God cells are arranged parallel to each other. In all the above examples, we will see the pores and the God cells will be arranged parallel to each other, right? But in case of Azolla, normally in this type you will see the pores and the God cells are lying parallel to each other, but in Azolla you will see that the God cells are U or V shape. U or V shaped, and this type of stomata or this type of God cells or this type of pore where the God cell, the type of pore where the God cells are arranged in the form of U or V shape, then those are called as perpendicular stomata. Azolla is a special type where the God cells are U shaped. And this type of stomata where the God cells are U or V shaped are called as perpendicular stomata. This is important. Next one is the God cells are equal in case of Heike, which is there in your syllabus also. This type, in this type you will see the presence of God cells lie here the God cells are lying equal to the other epidermal cells. Okay, so here the God cells are V shaped. Here these are God cells in Heike plant. You will see that the God cells are lying at equal level to the remaining epidermal cells, and in case of like in the case of leaves of Nerium, in case of Nerium you will see the arrangement of stomata are present in the form of cavities. Stomata are confined to cavities, where in the case of leaves of Nerium you will see that the stomata are mostly confined to cavities. For example, in Cucurbita you will see that these here the God cells or stomata are confined to the higher levels of the epidermis. These are at higher level than the epidermis. Okay, these examples are very important, multiple choice wise. Here the arrangement of God cells, normally we said that it is dumbbell shaped. So in this, here the God cells and the pore are parallel to each other. In Azolla it is V shaped or U shaped. So that is why it is called as perpendicular stomata. So they will ask a question, in Azolla perpendicular stomata can be seen in dash Azolla. The shape of God cells in azolla, U or V shape. Now in a plant like Hecke, you will see equal God cells are at equal level to the remaining epidermal cells. In leaves of Nerium, you will see that the stomata are confined to the cavities of the leaves. And in case of Cucurbita, you will see that these stomata are at the higher level than the normal epidermal cells. So these are examples are very important: azolla, Hecke, Nerium and Cucurbita for multiple choice questions. Okay. Next, then comes what are the, we are talking about stomatal complex, God cell structure, cell wall thickness. So what is the structure on different plants? That structure of God cell varies. So now we will talk what is the function of stomata.